A student's blood-stained notebook lies abandoned on the cold steps of Delhi University, its pages fluttering in the night breeze. One page glares up, scrawled with trembling handwriting. They said we'd be safe. But what if safety was never truly promised? The real story of Delhi police isn't about one protest or a single generation's loss. It's a chain of violence, cover-ups, and power stretching back decades, one Delhiites rarely get to see in full. Here's the twist almost everyone gets wrong. Brutality isn't a flaw in the system. It's the system working exactly as intended. Let's rewind to the night of December 15th, 2019. Jamia Millia Islamia University. Students rally against a new citizenship law, faces half covered with scarves, eyes shining with adrenaline and fear. Their chants echo until they're drowned out by the thunder of police boots. Without warning, Delhi police charge, not just outside, but inside the library's supposed sanctuary. Batons swing against backs and arms. Tear gas clouds the air, mixing with dust and panic. Dozens end up hospitalized, broken bones, bloodied heads, fractured trust. A week later, CCTV footage leaks. Students huddled, hands over heads, as police beat them anyway. Delhi police respond, "We only acted against violent elements." But most students weren't even armed. Some held nothing but books. The real catch? This wasn't the first time students learned the police weren't there to protect them. Flip back to 1983, Delhi University. Students march against rising tuition fees. Police swoop in, arrest them, beat them, and parade them barefoot through the streets. It's a scene erased from most history books, a lesson hiding in plain sight. So how did Delhi police learn this script? Their roots go deeper than independence. Born in colonial times, trained to control subjects, not serve citizens. Their job, quell dissent, protect power, enforce silence. The khaki changed, but the rules, not so much. Fast forward 2006. A 19-year-old student named Rahul Raj boards a city bus. He never comes home. Police claim he was an armed threat. No trial, just a bullet. The inquiry? A few lines in the paper. Delhi moved on. The family never did. Here's where it gets darker. In Delhi, police rarely face consequences for violence. Check the numbers. In 30 years, fewer than 2% of complaints against Delhi police led to prosecution. Why? The same reason students are shocked when their trust is shattered. The police report to the powerful, not the public. Picture this. A student activist in court. Her testimony overlooked, while CCTV mysteriously vanishes. Delhi has seen this script before, and it will again. Only the cast changes. But the weirdest part, the police myth survives. Textbooks call them guardians. Bollywood paints them as heroes, cleaning up the city with a punch. But step into a Delhi police station, and you'll find a different reality. Reports vanish. Complaints are ignored. Sometimes victims become suspects. What's really at stake is trust. And once it's broken, it rarely heals. Now flip that around. Why do so many still believe in the Delhi police myth? Part of the answer: fear. When police act with impunity, people learn to keep their heads down. Another reason: sometimes officers do heroic things. Like that night in 2001, when police ran toward gunfire during the parliament attack. Real courage. But zoom out, and these stories are the exception, not the rule. Let's dig deeper. Why do student protests trigger such an outsized police response? It's not just about law and order. It's about who gets to speak and who gets silenced. Students represent the future. If they lose hope, the system fears losing control. So the cycle repeats. Protest, crackdown, cover-up. But each time, the mask slips a little further. Here's what most people never realize. Delhi police aren't just fighting students, they're fighting time itself. Every generation, the myths get thinner. Social media, phones, and leaked videos poke holes in official stories. But there's a catch. For every viral clip, 10 stories stay hidden. Behind every headline, a dozen students get quietly threatened, forced to recant, or simply disappear from the news. Police know this. That's why intimidation works. A threat in private leaves no bruises for the camera. But sometimes, brutality slips into the open, and that's when the mask truly cracks. Remember Jamia. The footage shocked the world, but revealed something else. Police didn't expect to get caught. For decades, Delhi police operated in the shadows. Suddenly, the light is everywhere. But exposure doesn't equal justice. In most cases, officers are simply transferred, not fired. The myth survives, but thinner each year. And the most dangerous thing to the system, students who remember. That's the secret. Every protest, every crackdown, leaves scars, but also witnesses. Those scars, passed down, become a new kind of myth. The one police can't control. So the real question isn't, when will police brutality stop? It's, how long before the old myth finally collapses? And what happens when it does? For now, every new protest is a test. Does the mask hold, or does the truth spill out? The answer is still unfolding, but the next big revelation might come sooner than you think. And if you think Delhi police is the only force with secrets, wait till you see what happened during the 1984 riots. Tap here to uncover the darkest chapter of India's law enforcement and what they tried to erase forever. Still think police violence is a bug, not a feature? Let's go back to the very first Delhi Police Codebook. Page 1. Suppress unrest at all costs. That's not a coincidence. It's a design. Even today, recruits memorize laws that date back to the Police Act of 1861. That law was written after the 1857 rebellion. Its main goal? Prevent another uprising. It's no wonder the force acts more like an occupying army than a neighborhood guardian. Ironically, the more police double down, the more cracks appear. Take 2012. After the Nirbhaya case, Delhi police flooded the streets, but not the courtrooms. For every high-profile patrol, there were hundreds of unaddressed complaints. Ask survivors. The hardest thing isn't the attack. It's being dismissed, doubted, or blamed by police. And the numbers don't lie. In 2022, over 5,000 complaints were filed against Delhi police. 8 led to convictions. That's less than 0.2%. Meanwhile, the force holds annual parades to celebrate its legacy. But the legacy isn't always what's on the banners. Let's talk about cover-ups. The shadow art Delhi police have perfected. Remember Sunil Sharma? In 2017, he filmed officers beating vendors at Connaught Place. Next day, his phone is confiscated, footage deleted, and he's charged with obstruction. The market is calm again. The violence officially never happened. This isn't rare. In 2018, Human Rights Watch documented 41 protest-related police assaults. Only 3 were investigated. The rest? Lost in paperwork or buried by bureaucracy. So why do some officers break ranks and leak stories? Because not everyone can live with the silence. Guilt is contagious. Yet for every whistleblower, a dozen more are promoted for keeping quiet. And the system rewards silence far more than honesty. There's a hidden curriculum in every police academy. Trust hierarchy, not conscience. But what happens when the rank and file start doubting the top? History shows that's when real change begins or chaos erupts. Here's a twist. The internet is now the biggest threat to police secrecy. In 2019, over 40% of Delhi's viral news videos were shot by students. Police adapt, sometimes by blocking the net or jamming signals during protests. But every blackout only makes people more curious. Every secret eventually leaks, sometimes years later in a memoir, sometimes tomorrow on a trending tweet. And when the mask slips, even for a second, the old myth loses power. Let's not forget, the system counts on public amnesia. But some memories refuse to be erased, like the 2009 Batla House encounter. 2 students killed, police commended. Years later, doubts remain. Was it real justice or another staged script? For every official story, there's an unofficial version whispered in hostel rooms and WhatsApp chats. The gap between them, that's where the next protest is born. And for every crackdown, more students learn to document, to organize, to resist. The police know this. That's why new tactics emerge every cycle. But the truth is, no tactic can stop time or memory. Every protest is a rehearsal for the next. Every crackdown, a lesson in what not to forget. So, what happens when the myth finally shatters for good? No one knows, but the system feels that tremor every time a student stands up. And every time a notebook is left behind, the story grows harder to silence. For Delhi police, the past is catching up fast. The question is, are we ready to listen? Because the next chapter might be written by those who refuse to forget.